What's up, YouTube? Today's video is going to be a discussion for the up and coming links format. So let's get started. So, in case you don't know, link monsters are coming out, which means they're going to change the rules of the game. Where going into the extra deck is going to be more difficult than it ever has been. So today we're going to discuss 10 budget decks that Yu-Gi-Oh players can play to not break the bank and hopefully do well in, at least on the local level, in the links format. So let's get started. First up we have Dinosaurs. So what you're seeing here is just kind of some random dinosaurs. The new Ultimate Tyranno, the Kaiju. Basically, this deck, in a nutshell, is going to be available in a structure deck. So $30, boom, you have a dinosaur deck. And the dinosaur deck doesn't necessarily need an extra deck. Like, you might need a Logia or a Dulka, and if you get them now they're going to be on the cheap end. And get the reprints, don't spend a lot of money. Like, you could probably get this whole deck combat ready, $50, done. Alright, and so that's the ultimate thing in the links format. Also, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, or Ultimate, this dinosaur right here that you're looking at, has the ability to, in either player's turn, put all the monsters face down. Now, this won't work on the link monsters, but you could possibly put all the monsters face down and prevent yourself from taking damage. So if you're up against a link deck, that kind of sucks. But also, this deck does main deck Kaijus, which do cost a couple bucks, but trade for them. Don't spend money, trade. Trade for this Kaiju. Then you can just Kaiju over their link monster. And then, of course, make your extra deck, or the rest of your cards to benefit combating them. Alright, next deck is Pendulums. Now, when I say Pendulums, I don't mean just the ones you're seeing here. I mean Pendulum decks in general. DDDs, Metaphos, Draco Pals, Perform Pals, Perform Mages, Magispectors, Dino Mist, everything. Just every Pendulum deck that you can possibly think of is a decent deck for this links format, because in theory, even though they'd be going to your extra deck, it is still treated kinda as a graveyard, so they are exempt from that thing, from the whole needing the extra deck zones, because they are technically main deck monsters, which is probably why they are, at this point in time as making this video, are exempt from that rule. So the Konami could change it in the future, but still, being able to mass spam the board is also really good, because frankly, it allows you to put more than one monster in the monster zones, so you can actually make your link monsters. So Pendulums are good because they can work with the links as well as fight against them. Alright, next deck. Bujins. Why? Because Bujins do not need their extra deck that much, and I do mean Bujins or their variants. It doesn't really matter which variant you go with, but the extra deck is not required. They're basically Summon Yamato and Protect Yamato. Is really simple deck there. So basically, the only thing you're going to do is adjust your magic and trap cards and maybe your sideboard to handle the up and coming link monsters. The next one is Cosmos, because rarely does Cosmos go into the extra deck. They don't need to. They have all the firepower they need in their boss monsters, which are easily summoned by all of the pilots. So there you go. No requiring of anything special to take on the links for the future for the Cosmo deck. Actually, they can also abuse it because they can actually get more than one monster on the board fairly easily themselves as well. Next is I'm using Blue Eyes and Dark Magician together because they're basically in the way the game that currently works is they kind of work very similar. Dark Magician doesn't need all the extra deck. They usually only go into like one extra deck monster at a time anyway. Same with Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes can go into two, but it wouldn't be that hard for Blue Eyes to splash something in like Scapegoat, for example, to allow the Link monsters to be used in a later date to accommodate that. Alright. In Dark Magician, you go like Ebon Illusion Magician and you're done. Next one, Yobubu's or Yosenju. This deck does not rely on the extra deck at all. In fact, the only one they go for, to my knowledge, is Lightning Chidori. And also, you can use your comma 1 here to bounce your opponent's Link monsters back to the extra deck. Thus meaning that now they have to reestablish a board to keep using extra deck monsters. So, and then of course you combine that with the Kaijus, and you'll have constant plays. Next one, 6 Sams. Now, a lot of people are kind of going like, what? 6 Sams? Don't you want to spam Shien? Maybe, but a lot of 6 Sam decks can make do with just 1 Shien on the board and then defending the 1 Shien. So, 6 Samurais are not completely out of the woodwork. Plus, they're an Earth attribute deck for the most part. Like, you can really center it around the Earth monsters. So you can make the Malleus Radiance or whatever the Earth Link monster, and you're not completely SOL as far as playing the game, because it's going to open up 2 more monster zones and thus allowing you to make Neteria Beast and Shien and just defend it from there. Next one, Ritual Monsters, because Ritual Monsters do not require an extra deck hardly at all, and basically what you're looking at is Blackluster Soldier, Saphira, Necroz of Trishula, and Herald Perfection. It's basically just pick your ritual deck based on your budget. Mostly these aren't going to break the bank. Basically, like, especially the Blackluster Soldier one, that's probably the cheapest. If you want to play something on the cheap end, they also have tons of reprints, so you can get a lot of the cards for like $1. Next one is Stun in all variants. So that's why you see the various barrier statues, and you'll see like the Kawakimarus and the Fossil Pachycephalo here. These cards are all limiting on the special summons. Now, at the moment, the only ones that we've seen are Dark and Light, or not Dark and Light, Dark and Earth. So you're going to want to avoid like the Earth statue here. But the rest of this is totally viable to say, nope, no Link summons for you. And because Stun's has varying cards that are good, but it's always a decent deck to choose. And a lot of Stun players already have their Stun decks. And also, with Kwakimarus, you can do Ties of the Brethren, which allow you to get something that stops a monster, a trap, and a spell all in one turn. Next and final deck is going to be Lightsworn. If you are a Lightsworn fan, good news, you can get all the Lightsworn cards, common and cheap, like stupid cheap. Don't spend money on foils for this deck, guys. It's really not worth it. Like, sorry to say it, but a shiny Judgment Dragon works the same as a common one. They both do the same damn thing. It doesn't matter. And you'll mostly spend your money in the extra deck. Plus, the reason why I'm saying that is because Lightsworn are going to be receiving dark counterparts that are also Lightsworn monsters, which is awesome because you're going to... It's Lightsworn support, and with dark monsters it gives you open to chaos plays, which is really good in this Link format because the extra deck is not a relied thing. We don't need it. If we Lightsworn players want to use it, we absolutely can. If we don't want to use it, well, we still got Judgment Dragon and we're going to wipe the board one way or another, so there you go. And of course with Lawn Mowing Next Door, Ties of the Brethren, and all these other various cards, I mean, there's tons of variants to this deck you can build. It's just going to be take your pick. Alright guys, this was the video of 10 budget decks for the Link format. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I read all my comments. So if you have any kind of advice to help improve the channel, please leave it in the links, or not, excuse me, leave it in the comments down below. In the description, I will leave you other places where you can find me. my Patreon, my Twitter, and all that stuff. It's all my Instagram. It's all going to be in the links below. And that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm out.